Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Kristen and today we are in Willowcreek and we are building a family home that is decorated for the holidays. This is the first time I am doing a holiday house on my channel. This is really the first holiday season that my channel has been around, so I haven't had much choice. And I really wanted to make the effort to make sure I did a holiday house this season. I have been quite busy, and so I have been kind of MIA for a few weeks now, and I do apologize about that. I told you guys, that I would be posting a lot more often, and then of course life happened and I just have been very busy. I just haven't not had a chance to film whatsoever. But hopefully going forward that will change. I am going to be posting again on Friday this week, and I have a couple videos for next week, pretty much through the end of the year, which really is only what, a week, maybe two. I do have videos planned, so stay tuned if you are a returning viewer or if you are a new viewer. Definitely subscribe and stick around. I do a lot of different types of speed builds. I sometimes will do the occasional create a sim. I don't do that very often, and I may or may not in the future do a Let's Play or two. So if you are interested in seeing that, then definitely subscribe to my channel. I would appreciate it very, very much. And of course, like this video as well. That always helps the algorithm push my video to other simmers, that like the same type of builds, just like you and me. So I would appreciate that very much, especially at this time when I have not been posting very frequently. So yeah, any likes, any subscribes, I appreciate it very much. So let's get into the build. I switched the lot. I wasn't happy with the other lot that it was on. This is still in Willowcreek, still in the same neighborhood, it's just on the other side. I figured the sunlight in the morning time was a lot better on this side, so I wanted to switch, and I wanted to add snow as well because it was very important for me to make sure this house looked good with the snow. I mean, it is for a holiday, the holiday season, and so it has to have snow, or else I just feel like it's not holiday enough. You guys know what I mean? I mean, that's coming from someone who lives in Florida, and my whole holiday season has no snow. We have no snow all year round, which in real life I am not going to complain about. Snow is very pretty, don't get me wrong. I have seen it probably like twice in my life. When I used to live in Tennessee, it snowed like twice. It doesn't snow very often there either, but it will snow. And I do have to say that I really didn't like the texture of it. I know that kind of throws people off when I say that, but it's almost like nails on a chalkboard to me. It like crunches when you step on it, and it's definitely very icy, at least the snow I seen. It wasn't powdery like I thought it was, but it was also very light snow, and it was just cold enough to where it was barely sticking on the ground, so maybe that has something to do with it. But my experience with snow has not been very great, I guess I could say. I didn't hate it either, it's just not something I would like to live in. And so I definitely feel for those that have to live with snow. And have to shovel it out of their driveways, and have to defrost their cars before they even start driving every morning. I did have to do that in Tennessee, and it caused me to be late for work several times, but I used the excuse of I am from Florida, and so I did not know any better. Please excuse my ignorance. And it seemed to work, to be honest, so no harm, no foul, I guess. And with all of that being said, I am a fan of snow in The Sims. I am not a fan in real life. That whole story for that little piece of information. But I decided to make sure I chose the correct landscaping that actually stayed kind of green in the winter. I think there are real trees in real life that actually doesn't lose its leaf in the winter. I believe so anyways. I'm not 100% sure. But anyways, this is not real life, this is The Sims, and so I decided to make sure I chose bushes that actually stayed bushy, and I think I did a pretty good job of that. And I actually use all of this landscaping during the summer in The Sims as well. And so I know for a fact that this looks good in the summer too. So when you download this house off the gallery and you're like playing through it and it changes from winter to, I think summer's after this, right? Or spring. It changes from winter to spring to summer to fall. It will look good in every single season. So that, I did want to make sure of that as well. That was important for me because you won't be playing Christmas the whole time. And I also tried to decorate the house where it's obviously a normal house that is like with an everyday family. It has like normal decorations, the normal couch. It's decked out with decorations, but there's normal furniture behind the decorations, if that makes sense. So you could totally just delete every single Christmas decoration. Maybe you have to add a few more decorations here and there that you like. But other than that, it's pretty much a good house to download, even if you don't want to play with the holiday decorations in there. So now we are getting the floor plan together. I had a little bit of a hard time doing this floor plan this time. It was a little bit of a wonky shape, and I wasn't sure exactly where I wanted the living room, where I wanted the kitchen. I knew I wanted the dining room to have that big sliding door. That does end up changing. I do more of like a French door type of setting over there, and it has like windows on both sides. That area in the dining room really turned out really pretty, so I am excited for you guys to see that a little bit later in the build. And I'm also trying to figure out how I want like the entryway and it going into the living room, going into the dining room, the kitchen, and all those arches right there. I want it to blend really well without it being too much. And I also was contemplating doing an open floor plan, but the open floor plan just didn't look very good to me. I preferred it with the closed floor plan. So that is what I ended up going with in the end. And now upstairs, I had a hard time with the bedrooms as well. I don't know what my problem was this day, but I had one. And I wasn't sure why I wanted to put the master bedroom and all of the other bedrooms. I knew I wanted to have at least a 4-bedroom house, but it ended up having 5 bedrooms. And downstairs, that is where like the spare bedroom is. Maybe it's grandma or grandpa's bedroom. And then upstairs, there is the master bedroom, and then 3 bedrooms for either children or toddlers or teenagers. I ended up decorating them. One was for a teenager, one for a child. No, I don't think I did a teenager this build. One for a child, one for a toddler, and one for an infant. So this is like a younger family that lives here, and they are very much into the holiday season. I actually had in mind when I was building this that grandma and grandpa doesn't necessarily live here with them, but they are visiting for the holidays just to, you know, hang out with their family and see their grandchildren open up their gifts on Winterfest morning and have a bunch of fun with them. So they are actually just staying for, yeah, pretty much the holiday season, however long that might be. And then they will be going back home to their house. So as far as the backyard goes on this build, there's a pretty decent sized backyard on this house, and I didn't add a pool. I mean, it didn't really make sense if this is for like holidays. The pool didn't really make sense, and I didn't really know how to design it with the pool, and I wanted to make sure there was enough space for like winter activities in their yard. I do put a swing set there, and I put like the monkey bars, and I think I do a fire pit area as well, just under the tree over there. And I add quite a bit of stuff. It does turn out to not have as much room as I was really anticipating, but there's enough room to do like snowmen and snow angels and snowball fights. So that is really fun. And I also put a hot tub out there as well. And something that you'll notice me doing during this speed build, I might place random objects around the house and place like a big bow on it. And my sort of thinking for that was like, that is something new that they got during this holiday season. It might be a gift from one of their other family members, or maybe it's a gift to themselves, you know, to each their own. That is something that I do as well. There's nothing wrong with gifting yourself. don't forget about yourself during the holiday season. That is something that people tend to do. And it is all about family and loved ones, but definitely take time for yourself as well. And so, yeah, I ended up putting a big bow. Those bows that I'm placing on the fence right there, I place on like the hot tub outside, and I think I put like a bike by the tree in the living room, sort of things like that. And that's kind of my way of signifying that that is a gift that they just received. And it just added an extra touch of like Winterfest and holiday season and all of that good stuff. And I thought it was a really cute idea. And I also put a lot of like garland around everywhere, and you already seen there's so many like wreaths on the windows outside. I definitely decked it out with holiday decorations. I really was trying not to make it look too cluttered though. So you'll see me add things, delete things, and I'm trying to make it look as good as possible. I have definitely noticed that if you go overboard with decorations, at least in The Sims, I haven't really noticed it in real life, but in The Sims, if you overdo the holiday decorations, it tends to look a little too cluttered and a little too messy, and kind of, I don't know, like the colors they clash if you don't do it correctly. At least in my opinion. And so I tried really hard to make everything match and look good. And I hope you guys like it as well. I hope you agree that it does look good once you see the finished product. There are a lot of notes of green and red. Those are the main colors I tried to stick with. And a lot of white too, of course. And other than that, I didn't do a lot of blue and multicolor sort of decorations. It's mainly just the red and the green. That just screams holiday to me. Those are my favorite holiday colors, with some, you know, notes of like gold, maybe silver, but I really like red and gold together. And so yeah, that is the color combination I chose. And so we are in the kitchen now, and I really like the way that this kitchen turned out. I love the layout of the kitchen. There's this little breakfast nook over here, and I put some holiday decorations on top of the little breakfast nook table. And I decided to go with more traditional type of cabinetry. I went back and forth on the cabinets I wanted to use. I definitely wanted to stick to like suburban-esque sort of cabinets, not too modern. And so those traditional, I think it looked perfect, and I loved the color. The color of those cabinets are like my favorite, and it went really good with the flooring that I decided to use. So here is when I decided to do away with that big sliding glass door. I thought it didn't really match. It wasn't looking right to me. And so I really wanted to do a bunch of like big windows in this area and have like a good dining room area. And so I ended up putting these French doors with these windows from Snowy Escape, and I actually really like the way that looks. I know they're not exactly even with the door. The windows are a little bit shorter, but I enjoy the shape of that. I think it turned out really good. I really hope you guys think so as well. That's something new that I've done. I've never done that before, but I think it looks really good. And I am now adding bows to the back of these chairs. I think these chairs came from Vintage Glamour stuff or Vintage Party, one of the stuff packs, and I really hardly ever use these chairs. They look like they're for a wedding, but in this case they had like that extra white cloth on them, and I had an idea of placing these bows where the white cloth there's like a button on there, and the button wasn't necessarily something I wanted to use, so I had the idea of placing these bows instead, and I think it turned out really cute. Now obviously when your sim goes to sit down, if they pull out the chair, the bow's not going to come with the chair. So that is not ideal, but it's really not the end of the world. I can get over it. And if you guys really don't like that, then you could just delete the bows. And I could not decide if I wanted to put the wreaths there or put some curtains. I ended up going with curtains instead of the wreaths, but looking back now, the wreaths did look really good, so I probably should have kept that, but when I was decorating this, it started looking too cluttered. Kind of what I was talking about just a minute ago. It was looking too cluttered and messy, and so I think that's why I ended up going with curtains instead. And this living room, guys, let me tell you, that gave me such a hard time. I didn't know where I wanted to put the tree. I really wanted to do the tree where your Sims decorated it themselves, but that tree is so finicky. If you do not have enough space, then you won't see the tree skirt and it just won't work correctly. And so since this is kind of a cluttered build, I wanted to make sure everything worked as much as possible anyways. I'm sure there's a few things in this build that you might have to delete an object or whatever. But as far as like the tree goes, I really wanted to make sure that worked, because that's going to be like one of the main highlights of the build as you're playing in it, you know, for the holiday season. And so if you want the self-decorating tree where your Sim decorates themselves, then you could totally just delete the tree that I put and replace it with the self-decorating tree. If you do that, I do recommend, maybe this might not be realistic, but having your Sims decorated outside or in like a real open area where it's not touching any other object. And so if you do it that way, then it will definitely work correctly. But if it even has like one little rug in the grid of the tree, then you won't see the tree skirt. I don't know why it's like that, but it's just a finicky thing that it's been like that since Seasons came out, I believe, or as long as I can remember. It's been like that like forever. So yeah, once you like decorate it in like a big area, whether that be outside or inside somewhere, then you could just place it in the location that you want it to be. If it's like real cluttered, it'll be fine because you already decorated it. So that is just a little piece of advice from me. And so I ended up just doing the already decorated tree in the living room. You'll see that once I go back to the living room. It gave me, it was kind of a pain. And so you'll see me go back and forth between the living room, but I end up saving it pretty much for the last thing I do, because it just aggravated me so much. But the dining room is pretty much coming together. I think I just put a mirror on that back wall over there and then some sort of like shelf in the corner, and that was pretty much it. I wish I could have fit a fireplace in there as well, but there was no room in there. I don't know if I could have squeezed it in that back wall. I don't think it would have worked correctly with the dining table being like so close to it. And so I went away with that idea. I figured they have a fireplace in the living room, and then the master bedroom upstairs has a fireplace as well. So 2 fireplaces, you know, better than one, and it's better than none. And yeah, so here's where I'm placing some mirrors, and then I end up putting those cottage living lights. They look like they could be like a DIY light. Those, I end up putting those kind of throughout the build. It has like a holiday vibe to it. I think it's the lights in the mason jar for some reason just gives holiday, and it also is giving DIY holiday, and I really love that. And that is pretty much it for the dining room, besides some miscellaneous decorations here and there. And right now you're seeing me put this Christmas chandelier thing in several of the rooms. I do end up deleting that. That just looked too tacky to me. I just, you know, it looks pretty, it looks cute, but there's a tackiness to it that I just can't bring myself to actually leave it there. And so I end up deleting those and just replacing them with normal lights. I mean, it goes with the same idea that I had, that I want this to look like obvious decorations. Like, I want you to be able to see the house behind there that would be the normal house, that isn't the holiday season house that has all the holiday decorations. And so you could totally delete the holiday decoration. That was my main goal of this house. And now I'm just placing some miscellaneous decorations around on the counters. I made the counters very, very filled. I don't love doing that just because it's hard to like play with it so filled. but it does look really good. Like, it looks so like realistic and homey to me to have a lot of like different clutter pieces on the counters. And I added a lot of red and green things. I have a red and green plate over there, and then I have like the bread box that's red, and I pulled out those paranormal stuff candy jars. I think those are just so cute. I love adding those in my builds, especially if it's like a family house, you know. And I also love the way that I decorated that table in the breakfast nook area. I added the pine tree wreath garland. That's the word I'm looking for. I added the garland, and then I added like the red flowers with the candle, and it looks really cute on that white tablecloth. I love it. And I know I say this in a lot of my speed build videos, but please forgive my dogs in the background. They choose to play and walk around and eat their food when I am recording for some reason. They love doing it. They do it all the time. So please forgive that. I'm sorry. That's all I can say about that, I guess. But anyways, another thing about the kitchen, I also put a coffee maker in there. I figured that's really a winter thing, perfect for the holidays. And then I end up adding another like table. Oh, and they came out with a hot cocoa platter where you can make like hot cocoa drinks. I literally did not know that until I started building this build. So that must have been like an update that they added in the game in the last few weeks that I've been busy, and so I did not know anything about that, so that was really fun to come across, and I thought it was so cute, and I will be using that all the time when I end up playing, which I don't play often, but I do sometimes. I definitely want to play the quest. I missed the Halloween quest, and so I'm a little bit upset about that. But there is a holiday quest that I'm going to make sure that I play so that I can get the extra objects and the extra trait, especially the grouch trait. I love that. So yeah, I'm definitely going to be playing that, and so when I do, I'm going to be obsessed with that hot cocoa thing. I think that is just such a cute touch. And as you can see, I'm flipping back and forth between the living room to something else. And yeah, that's just because the living room just aggravated me so much. I don't know why I had such a hard time with it, but I did. And so with that being said, it changes quite a bit from how you see it right now. I mean, it's not that bad, it's just really not what I was going for. And so I ended up changing it quite a bit. I mean, it's not completely different, but it gets pretty different. And I really like that record player right there. I think that screams holiday to me. I don't know why it does, but it just seems like it'd be really cozy sitting there playing an old record, maybe drinking some hot cocoa on that hot cocoa tray, and just enjoying the moment, enjoying watching it snow outside, enjoying watching your kids play, open their gifts, and it just seems very, very holiday-ish to me. And so I definitely wanted to try to put the record player there. Definitely a radio, if not the record player, but the record player is just, it was screaming to me. And so I did end up finding a way to put the record player that made a lot of sense, and I almost had it shaped this way, laid out this way, but it was not. No, this is even worse. That was even worse than what I had before. So I ended up just changing the sectional into something else, like an actual couch with a love seat, and I can't remember, it's one of the new kits. The couch I ended up using is from one of the new kits, and I think it's definitely a modern-ish looking couch, but it looks suburban-ish at the same time, and I think it's super cute, and so I ended up going with that. And then I also wanted the coffee table. That fireplace ends up staying in that exact location too, with the exact decorations on there. Oh, these are the couches. That is the couch combination I decided to go with. I feel like it looks a little teenager-ish with the flower pillow on there, but then again, that's something that I would have. And I'm 27 years old, so I guess adults could have pillows with flowers on them. I mean, why would that matter? It just seems very college age or like teen to me. I don't know why. And so I have a hard time using this in my actual like living rooms for like adult sims, but I love the shape of these couches. I wish they would come out with more love seat and sofa combinations with this shape, with pillows on there that just have like different pillows, like different designs, and some that are just plain pillows. And then definitely different color swatches as well, like more neutral and light colors I think would go a long way. More homey type of colors. And so over on this side of the living room, I really wanted to put a computer table. And so I squeezed it into this area over here. And then I put a computer chair there, obviously. But it was red at first, and I thought I left it red, but I might have changed it to the white just because I thought the red was just, it was a little bit too much contrast, and it didn't look very good to me. So I'm pretty sure I changed it to the white or the beige, the off-white chair, and it matched a lot better with like the sofa. And now we jumped over here just to do this main entryway, and this table is actually from Seasons, and I thought it was perfect for this house. I mean, it looks like that is just the normal entryway table that's always there, and they just put like a holiday tablecloth over it, and then I put some holiday decorations on top of it. And I also put a pile of books there as like decoration, and then I put a candle on top of that because it's kind of like some of the books are standing up straight and some of the books are like knocked over, and I thought it was perfect to put something on top of the books that are laying on like their face, and I decided to do a candle. A lit candle on books. I mean, what can go wrong, guys? I don't see anything wrong with that. And then I just put some pictures over above the staircase, and I end up putting those like chalkboard decorations that came with the holiday stuff, the free like holiday stuff. I end up putting that, like one of those, in between the pictures here a little bit later in the build, and I think it turned out really, really good. And so that is pretty much it for the entryway. Nothing really too special, just like some miscellaneous decorations. Made it a little bit holiday themed, just like the rest of the house. And now we are over into the downstairs bathroom, or one of them really, should I say. There's one bathroom that's attached to the guest bedroom where grandparents are staying, and this is the main bathroom downstairs. And I put a washer and dryer in here, and very Christmas themed. They typically have a red washer and dryer anyways, is what I was thinking, just because I wanted to do a red washer and dryer. And honestly, in real life, I absolutely love a red washer and dryer. I think it just looks really good. I mean, it makes the washer and dryer actually look pretty, when typically they just look like washer and dryers, just white and square, you know, not much interesting there. But the red ones just, it adds some good color, you know, and I just love the red. And then the rest of the bathroom came together really, really quickly. And to be honest, pretty much all of the bathrooms in this house, they use the same shower tub combination and toilet and sink for the most part. I think I cut out the bathrooms upstairs just because it was, you know, this is a pretty long video already. I needed to cut something out, and the bathrooms were the first to go. I mean, what's the point of showing you every single one if they're like pretty much all the same? This bathroom downstairs on the guest bedroom, it is a little bit different, but it basically is about the same as well. I use the same decorations, those the rugs that are in there with the snowflakes on it. I put those in every single bathroom. I figured that was more so for like holiday decorations, and once it's not the holiday season, you're gonna replace those with something else. You could probably just honestly, since it's from Seasons, they have a lot of different like season decorations on the rugs, so you could totally just change the swatch depending on the time of year that it is, whether it's holiday season, Halloween season, Thanksgiving, Valentine's Day. just any normal old day, whatever it might be, you could totally change the swatch and just keep them in the same location if you wanted to. And honestly, this guest bedroom came together very quickly too. There's nothing really special about it. I did put a rocking chair in there just because it needed a little bit something else, and so I put the rocking chair, and then I put a dresser, the bed. You know, there's no TV, no nothing like that, but there are holiday decorations, so you get a little bit of something in that room. And other than that, it's really just bland and not much going on there. And something you'll notice, I put those, I thought they were mistletoes, but I think it's just like a decoration, and I put them over all of the doors. When I thought it was a mistletoe, I wasn't going to put it over every single door. I feel like, okay, am I going to be kissing everybody, every room that I walk in? You know, that doesn't make any sense. I would be getting aggravated, you know? But since I read the description and it's more of just a decoration, I thought it was really cute to put over all the archways and the doors, and so that's what I did. Hopefully it's not too much for you guys, but I think it looks really cute and adds like a holiday winterish touch. And I also put this table here. I figured it was a little too blank, you know, so I needed to add something, and I figured a table to like bake cookies on and different holiday baking goods. I figured that was a really good idea, so I ended up putting that there and put just decorations on there, and then I put like a cake tray, and I left the cake tray, no, I did not leave it blank. I ended up putting some like berries and whipped cream sort of like jars on the cake tray. Obviously, once you bake cookies or cake with your Sims, you could totally just delete that or put it to the side and put the cookies or the cake on the cake tray instead. You know, using it what it's really made for. And now we are upstairs. This is actually the master bedroom, and here I'm using that fireplace again. I absolutely love this fireplace. I think it is so cute, and the only time I'm ever able to use it is if I'm doing like a holiday build. I'm not one of those Sims players that decorate my game, like my house in game for the season, unless I'm using the attic box that like comes with seasons, and you just have your Sim just put up decorations all at once. That's the only way I do it, because if you're playing on regular normal lifespan, or especially the short lifespan, you don't have a lot of time. And so to sit there and totally deck out your house while you're in game and you're playing like a legacy family, and so you have multiple seasons, you know, you have Christmas 10 times probably, you know, so I just don't, it's not worth it to me to sit there and redecorate the house for every single holiday. It's kind of a waste of time in my opinion, so I just use the attic box. And so with that being said, I don't ever get a chance to use that specific fireplace unless I'm actually doing like a build specifically for the holiday season. And so when I'm able to use it, I take advantage of it. And I had a lot of fun using it in this build. And so I just think it's super cute with like the ribbon on there and the garland and all of that. And so there is the attic box. Actually, I end up putting that in the house in the master bedroom somewhere. And so once you actually download this house, I did not add any like lights on the house. I wanted you to, what you see is what you get on the gallery, you know, so I didn't want to add the lights, because if you download the house, you're going to expect to see the lights, and the lights are not going to be there. You're going to have to put the lights yourself. And so I didn't want to add it and post it on the gallery with the lights being shown, and kind of like, you know, trick you guys, if that makes sense. Not everybody knows that, and so yeah, just a little piece of information. And so this master bedroom is not my favorite. There's something about it that I don't love. It's kind of bland. This corner over here needed a little something, so I decided to put like a little easel set. I figured the mom in this house is like really into painting, and so she got a brand new easel for Christmas, and her husband gave it to her, but he gave it to her early. He said, you know what, you don't have to wait for I guess I should say Winterfest morning. So here it is. happy holidays. And so she, yeah, the rest is history. She's been using it every day. And so, yeah, that is pretty much it for this master bedroom. Nothing too fancy. I guess I didn't put too many holiday decorations in here. It was just getting to be too cluttery, I felt. So the bulk of the decorations are definitely in like the kitchen, the living room, the dining room, the entryway, and the bathrooms. And then the actual bedrooms, there's a little bit, a little bit to make it feel like holiday, but not a whole bunch. And so, yeah. We are now going into the other bedrooms. So, like I said, I cut those two bathrooms upstairs out. Nothing special going on. You guys see, there's really nothing special, nothing to really talk about. I did add a toilet seat in the bathroom for a toddler because there is a toddler in the house. And now I am remembering I did not add a high chair for the infant or the toddler. So that is something you guys will have to add if you download this. Sorry, I hate doing that. I love having like complete builds, but you can't remember everything all of the time, and high chairs is something that I tend to forget a lot. But other than that, this house has pretty much everything. And so yeah, this is the infant's room here, and honestly, if I am about 90% sure those chairs work there and the crib and they can walk around it. If not, then all you have to do is delete that little like footstool thing there, which is actually like a regular stool, but I have in my mind that that is a footstool. That is where mom or dad or grandma or grandpa comes and picks up the baby, might be crying, and they sit there and rock the baby. So that was kind of my mindset. And well, it's not really a rocking chair, but you guys know what I mean. We can use our imagination, right? And then I put the footstool there as well, because who doesn't love to rest their feet on a stool, And so, yeah, that's pretty much it for the infant's room. Very, very traditional with light colors. So you could totally go in there and change the color scheme if you want to very easily. And now I'm just doing the hallway upstairs. Nothing really special. The best part about this hallway is the garland around the fence of the staircase. And if I had the tool mod installed, then I totally would have had it going down the actual like railing of the staircase, but I didn't have the patience for that for this build, and I'm getting to the end now, and I was like, you know what, what's the point of downloading that mod just for this one thing, and then what if I do all that and it doesn't turn out very good? So I decided to scratch that idea and just deal with it being a rail with no garland. But if that was real life, just know that I would have put garland there, or if I already had the tool mod installed. But all of my mods are pretty much out of date. I need to fix all of them. And so, yeah, this is the child's room. The TV is turned this direction because I figured that they would be watching TV or movies or whatever while playing in their little fort here. And then I put like some different toys in the fort and pillows and tried to make it look really cozy. If you didn't know, if you add stuff in the fort, it totally still works, and you can still have your kid playing in there, and it looks super cute. And that TV there, I was thinking this child just got that for Winterfest, and so I wanted to add a bow there, and I thought that was just a cute little touch. And then there's different stuffed animals, there's a activity table there. I wanted to make sure there was some sort of skill building item in this kid's room. And then I just placed different like creative, the creative activity set and different things that I thought a kid would like. This looks like a very creative child. I mean, their bed has like pictures on it. And then they have the activity set and the box of like crayons and glue and all of that fun stuff. So this is a very creative child that lives here, and I think that room just turned out super cute. It looks like a child's room, you know what I mean? It's not super decorated with a specific theme. It's just very childlike, and I think that's so fun. And now this is the toddler's room. So this is actually the last room of the build, other than me adding this like nutcracker decoration over in the entry or the hallway there that has the door leading out to the balcony, which the balcony is not much. There's no decoration other than a rug out there, so nothing special. But yeah, so we're into the toddler's room now. This toddler is really, you know, into sports as much as a toddler can be. That's probably more of like the parent thing. The parents want the toddler to be into sports, so they chose the wallpaper with the sports theme on there. I think that's just super cute for like a little toddler, you know, or a little child. The sports theme wallpaper, I love it. I use it all the time. And then it kind of went with the color scheme with this bed that I have and the dresser. It all goes really well together. And then I put a toy box in there along with a big stuffed animal. And that was pretty much it. And I think I put some of those nesting blocks in there as well. But now we are downstairs back into the dreaded living room that I just can't get away from for some reason. But now that I'm adding all these decorations, I'm adding pretty much the last few decorations. And it, you know, it's not the best that I've done, but it's not the worst that I've done either. It's cute. It's very holiday-ish. And I love it. And here is where I end up adding like the bike, and I also add a guitar, I believe. So the bike was for the kid, obviously, and I put a bow on there. And then I also put a guitar on the other side as well. I figured that could be for like dad maybe. And then I put a bow on there as well. And I think that's just a really cute touch and really realistic. As you can see, I couldn't decide where exactly to place the bow, but I finally found that perfect location. And now I'm just adding like a few different decoration pieces outside. And we are just about to load up the backyard with a bunch of activities for the children, but the adults as well. So the backyard is where the family definitely spends a lot of their time. Oh, and I think I put a telescope over there by the tree too, so they're gonna have a pretty good holiday season this year. This whole family has like a whole bunch of new items. I almost put a car with a bow out in the front, but it looked like too much. It looked better without it, so I ended up deleting that. But it was a cute idea, you know? Maybe in the future I might do that. And then I add a table with an umbrella, and over here where the grill currently is where I end up putting a hot tub instead. It was really blank and it needed something, and I put the hot tub there and it looked pretty good. And then I put a bow there as well, just to make it obvious that they just got that for Winterfest. And that is pretty much it, guys. There is nothing else really to say about this build. I really hope you enjoyed this speed build. If you did, then just like I said in the beginning, please leave a like. It will help the algorithm push this video out, and that is much needed for me since I have been absent for a few weeks now, maybe even a couple of months. But who's counting, right? But yeah, I really hope you guys enjoyed this. And of course, if you have not subscribed, then you are getting cold this holiday season. No, I'm totally just joking. If you have not subscribed and you would like to, then please subscribe and maybe ring the notification bell so you don't miss any of the episodes. And yeah, I really hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your holiday season with plenty of time to spend with family and friends and lots of good times. And of course, creating happy memories with those that you love. Alright guys, with all that being said, I hope you all have a wonderful one, and I will see you all very soon. Happy holidays, guys!